Goes back to the blue line. That hits high. Puck loose in the free throw. Seems to be cleaned out. Gets it across the blue line. Perry gives chase. Thrown back into the Bloomington defensive end. Now it's cleared out. Trying to get it ahead to Tyus. Perry's going to carry it up. Tyus goes for a change. Perry 1-on-4 gets a shot off. A good one from high in the offensive zone, just across the blue line. Got it on net.
And a big rebound created as well that the Wings, not the Jaguars, were able to jump on it.
Shot on net, then stick to the corner. Armstrong Cooper now with 15 seconds of a player advantage. Comes ahead to Allie Moore. Good pass there. Gets that ahead to Taylor Keith. Keith giving chase, but Armstrong throws it up ice. Grabbed by Bloomington, thrown deep. Penalty effectively pulled off. We're back to 5-on-5 just momentarily. Moore tried to cut in front, lost an edge there. She hops back up though, gets chase in the corner. Bodies up the Armstrong Cooper player. Armstrong trying to come up the near side boards. That hits a skate, held in there by Towie. Goes behind the net. Moore again pressuring the puck. Held in at the blue line. Graham is in the corner fighting for it. She goes down. Again, there's Towie though, covering for Schramm at the blue line. Tried to go cross ice, but fortunate there that Perry was just coming off of a line change. She skated right up the middle. Couldn't get a good shot on net though. Armstrong Cooper struggling to get it out of the zone. Held in by Marshall. Marshall again, now she's got a little space. Throws it towards the net. That goes into the far side corner. Perry with it. Perry spins, ditches the defender, looking for a pass, looking at the blue line. Good centering pass right out front. Oh, just whiffed on the shot. That was Tyus trying to get a shot off an excellent pass there and just kind of whiffed on the puck, John. Couldn't get much on it.
No, but really nice sequence there in terms of the Jaguars trying to set it up there. And you saw a lot of patience by the Jaguar forward finding Elise Tyus open in the middle. And, that's how you get those shots and certainly hope that either goes in or you get a rebound. As it happens, it ended up in a face-off, and the Jaguars are in control still in the offensive zone.
Jefferson now up to 13 shots in 11 minutes. If you remember last year, John, I had a goal within the broadcast team of seeing a game where we averaged a shot a minute. We are on pace at present.
Indeed, it reflects a really strong performance so far by the JV team, but credit to the Wings defense as well as Emma Reberg, their goalie. It's still only a 1-0 game here. And speaking of goalies, you mentioned this in real time when it happened, but a real nice stick save and especially pushing away the puck to the corner, eliminating any chance of a rebound by number 40, Annika Bjorklund. The reason we haven't mentioned her that much is the defense has been so strong on the Jaguar side that Armstrong has really only had 3 shots. That was the best one I just mentioned, but well handled by Annika.
Good pass up ahead. Gets it up ahead to DeVos. DeVos trying to get it back to Moore and just slid under. Again, just had a little trouble handling the puck as they crossed the blue line, but almost got a good give and go off there. Now it's in the corner, held in by Lindman. Tipped behind the net. Moore pressuring the puck. During attempt high off the glass. Good deflection that comes out. Lindman there though with speed. She's got some room. She's looking up ice. Makes a good pass. Good touch there by Keith. Just getting it. Did a touch to ward off the icing. Let the Bloomington line change behind her. And on rushing, here's how he tried to make a move, but hit the defenseman's skates. Lost it. Held in there by First.
That was really a veteran move by Taylor Keith there to, have the presence of mind to say, if I just get a glance on the stick, they're not going to call icing. It'll allow us to get a change. Really, really well played and showed a lot of thought from her out on the ice.
Mendel tried to center it. Goes across to Towie. Towie dumped it into the corner. First centered it, but that couldn't connect with Perry. Perry now goes behind the net. First tried to get it back to the point, but cleared out. Retrieving this is Mendel. She's going to have room. She looks. Goes cross ice to First. First is going to carry up the near side wall. She's going to try to get a tough angle. No, she centered it. On rushing, that was Perry off of a line change. Thrown into the corner. First is going to give chase. Goes back to the point. Tries to go cross ice. Gets there. That's Mendel. She's content to just dump it in under pressure. Centering pass again. Bloomington in the midst of a line change. Moore coming on. She's got it in the behind the net. Centering pass again. Tried to find Perry out front, but couldn't get a stick on it. Now Tyus, she centers it. That too hard for Moore to handle. But held in at the line there by Mendel. Nice work, Bloomington keeping up the pressure. Armstrong Cooper having to change while in the defensive end. That was sustained offensive time. No icing, waved off. Feldman retreats. Goes behind the net. Picking that up is DeVos. He tries to get it ahead to Tyus. They succeed in getting it across the blue line. Now all three Jefferson forwards. Pressuring the puck, but it's thrown into the defensive end.
Marshall took a little shot from a wing right there that I brought my eyes to the referee to see if he was going to raise his hand. Did not, but unnecessary little shove as she was getting on the ice, but she was able to quickly recover. Puck gets down, and but we're going to have an icing call. So face off to Annika Bjorkman's right here in this 1-0 game. 1:14 remaining here in the first period in the first JV game, first high school game of this renovated Bloomington Ice Garden.
I very much appreciate Zoe Marshall going with the full hockey flow here, John. Most of the hockey playing girls go with some form of a braid or a bun. I like Marshall's do. It makes it easier to tell who's who at least, especially in the early going while we're still learning names and numbers.
No question about it. Yeah, that's one that is instantly recognizable. And
We're
so it might be Layla Perry.
Yes. Perry, good stop, trying to get it centered. Succeeds, gets it across. Excellent play by the goalie. Just poked that into the corner. That was first sit on the far side post, ready to just knock that in.
Really nice play by Perry, trying to set up her teammate. Perry, of course, being the lone goal scorer so far in the game here. 38 seconds remaining here, and Jaguars trying to get on the board again.
Comes back to center ice. Lindman tried to make a pass. That was intercepted, but knocked him in the corner. Lindman's going to retrieve. Jefferson should have one last opportunity here for a rush up ice. Lindman carries, crosses the red line. Bloomington in the midst of a change. Lindman still carries. That gets knocked on goal and covered there.
That'll be the 14th save by Emma Reberg, the junior goaltender for the Armstrong Cooper Wings here. She has faced a lot of pucks this first period here, and you're right, we are on a shot-a-minute pace here by the Jaguars, so they have had nearly all of the offensive pressure here. Annika Bjorkman doing just fine with the 3 shots that she has faced, but Bloomington Jefferson, 10 seconds left, trying to get one more past her, but again, Emma Reberg makes the save.
Howie won that draw over to the near side wall. Moore exploded with it behind the net and then got a good centering pass back to Tyler. I think that just went off the near side, outside wall of the net. We're going to try that again with 8 seconds. Again, it's one back. Jefferson really dominating face-off wins here, but that one went across the blue line.
That was a very nice face-off taken by
Towie.
Very clean and strong back. In fact, so strong that it went over the blue line. She'll take it again here and try and repeat that with 4 seconds left. And indeed, she did win that one as well.
Puck dumped in, but that's going to end the period. My assumption, John, is we're not resurfacing after one. Nope, we're going to stick around. It was noted earlier, John, it's a whiteout today for anyone who's planning to come to the varsity game. I discovered this morning, John, my wardrobe does not contain any white warm weather gear. Wasn't sure if that spoke to my personality, my wardrobe choices, or if I'm just smart enough to know I spill rain. But I did not have any white outerwear, John.
I had one white sweater, I have it on, but I also have my Jaguar hockey jacket. Although I will say that even though it's cooler out today, as part of the renovated Bloomington Ice Garden here, this is a warmer rink than it used to be. And I certainly remember it back in the day here. So
great. Yeah. We're seeing the Jefferson bench over there. So this year, changing the coaching staff. Coach Alex, the assistant coach, is back for another season. But KP taking over head coaching duties. And my understanding is the players still refer to her as KP, even though a marriage that occurred within the past year has changed it now to KS. But maybe she answers to both. But we've known her coming up as KP.
I think I've heard she's quite comfortable with that, and the players are comfortable with calling her that, so that's great. And but we can also call her as head coach. So congratulations to her, as she's now the head coach of the JV team. Of course, she helps out with the entire squad. She was on the bench the last couple of seasons with the varsity team with coaches Mark and Sierra Johnson, who are back, and we'll see them during the varsity game, joined by Edgar Madsen, who is the goalie coach for both teams. And certainly he and the goalies here, the JV squad, have been doing really well. 1 goal on Thursday. So far, no goals after a period tonight. And Ryan, you mentioned whether they were going to resurface or not. For our viewers here, most of the time in JV games, there's a 3-minute break in between the first and second period, and then they resurface between the second and the third. Although at Prior Lake, maybe because they had the luxury of 2 really nice Zambonis, they resurfaced after each JV period. Of course, in varsity, where the periods are 2 minutes longer at 17 versus 15 minutes, they resurface and take a break in between each period. Varsity game coming up here at 3 o'clock. You can catch it on BEC TV, or even better, catch it live here. No admission charge here at the renovated Bloomington Ice Garden. A really fun, festive day to be here.
I'll be honest, John, I was secretly hoping that Coach KP and Alex would be sporting sweater vests for today's game as a callback to our opening night game where varsity coach Johnson was wearing the old school sweater vest. But maybe they got him on under the coaching jackets and I just haven't seen it yet. They're waiting to bust that out as a selling for a goal at some point.
Either that or they're going to join the whiteout as well and maybe have a white sweater on or a white sweatshirt, as well. So we do see, as you'll see on BEC TV feed, several people in the stands who are wearing Jaguar jerseys that are white here. So again, kind of a lot of fun there. And as the fans here know, they're giving out rally towels as well. So some of those waved after that first goal in the first period, and the first one at this new rink by Layla Perry. Jaguars looking to do it again. Of course, they'll be going the opposite way. Second period is when they have the long change for both teams, and we'll look to see how they do here. Face-off is going to be taken by Taylor Keith once again. The ceremonial face-off took the first period face-off, and now here the second period.
Keith wins that draw over to Moore. Moore spins up the right side, tries to get it into the middle for DeVos. That just went under his stick. Armstrong Cooper coming the other way. Turnover though. Keith held up. She's going to draw the penalty again. That was a pretty blatant hook there. She tried to pull away, but got taken down. We're back on the power play.
I hope they caught this on the BEC TV cameras because when Taylor Keith drew that penalty, she was actually really excited because she understood what had just happened there and that the pressure she was putting on led to that penalty and to the skater advantage here. Face-off is going to be taken by Elise Tyus.
Well, Tyus getting booted out of the face-off circle. Not sure why. Maybe too intimidating looking. I've always been impressed how low Tyus gets on their face-off.